Hello and welcome to Get Great at Maths. Today's video is a GCSE Mathematics OCR J560 exam paper question from the June 2022 series on the higher tier paper 4. This is a calculated paper and we're going to be looking at question 9 today. Now question 9 is a question involving a circle. We've also got a right angle triangle within this circle, and when you see a question involving a circle, you should be thinking of circle theorems. When you see a right angle triangle, you should be thinking of Pythagoras or trigonometry. And later on in the question, it says work out the circumference of the circle. So we've got three things that are going on in this question. So there's quite a lot to take in. And this question is worth 5 marks in total. So in the bottom right hand corner, it tells us the number of marks. Now the key bits of information given that ABC is 90 degrees, that is given on the diagram just here for right angle. The length AC is 6.4, again given in the diagram, and BC is 3.7 meters, again given in the diagram. Now we've got a right angle triangle and we've got to work out the circumference of the circle. Now you should be thinking in the back of your mind the circumference is equal to pi times the diameter. So we need to find the diameter of this circle. Now the diameter of this circle is the distance between B and between A. All the way across there is my diameter. And it is also the hypotenuse of the triangle because it is the side opposite the right angle. So we're going to be using Pythagoras to start with. And you should remember that Pythagoras' theorem says A squared plus B squared equals C squared. Now C is always the longest side on the triangle and it is always the hypotenuse. And in this case, it is the diameter of the circle. Now, the reason this has got a right angle in the circle is because of the first one of the circle theorems where you've got a right angle in a semicircle or a triangle in a semicircle. But the question doesn't require you to use any circle theorem knowledge. It kind of tells you that in the question. Now, A and B, doesn't matter which way round we put A and B. So I've just put A as 3.7 and B as 6.4. Now, if I put those values into the formula, I get 3.7 squared plus 6.4 squared plus C squared. That gives me 1 mark. If I rearrange that to find C, which is the diameter of the circle, so working out the value of 3.7 squared and 6.4 squared on your calculator, and square rooting that answer gives me my 2nd mark. My 3rd mark comes for the answer of the square root is 7.392563831. Is the diameter of the circle, which is my 3rd mark. Now, the next mark comes from working out the circumference. The circumference of the circle is pi times the diameter. We've just worked out the diameter of the circle, so it's going to be pi times 7.39. Make sure you use the whole digit on your calculator, so use the answer button on your calculator. And that will give you 23.22442422. Now we're going to round our answer to 3 significant figures. The 2 is the 1st significant figure. The 3 is the 2nd significant figure. And the decimal point and the second 2 is the 3rd significant figure. Then draw a line after here and I'm going to look at what I'm going to do with this 2 here. 2 is lower than 5, so it's going to tell me to round down. So because I'm rounding down, my answer just stays as 23.2, which is the final mark, which gives me my 5 marks. The mark scheme says the answer is 23.2 to 23.25, so they've rounded to 3 or 4 significant figures here, for a total of 5 marks. There are 2 marks for doing Pythagoras, the square root of the 2 shorter sides added together squared. 1 mark for just doing 3.7 squared plus 6.4 squared. And then on top of that, the answer you get, so this there means the answer you got for your diameter times by pi. OE is all equivalent. And a method mark for doing 2 pi times your 7.39, so your diameter, in case you made a mistake. Then we can see that there's an SC2 down the bottom, because if you did no working or insufficient working, you do not get the marks. The maximum marks you can get are 2 marks if you didn't show your working. If you did write down the number 7.39, you automatically get 2 marks. There is some more information over on the right hand side, but we've been through the key bits where you're going to get your marks. Just this word there just means if you used a different answer for 7.39 and you're working because you made a mistake, you will still get the method marks. Thanks for listening. This is a video done by Get Great at Maths. If you enjoyed this video, please click like and subscribe to watch more videos. Thanks for listening.